Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today, we're going to talk about mental health versus physical health. It's really interesting topic because I think you can have poor physical health and be okay if you're in good mental health. But I'm not sure that the opposite holds true. When you're disabled or having mobility problems or whatever. And I'm not talking about serious diseases. I understand that that is something that's very difficult emotionally to deal with. But I'm just saying that if you're disabled, you're having mobility problems, people look at you and think, how does that person exist? I feel so sorry for them. What do they have to look forward to? I know all these things that go through people's minds. But the truth is, if you're in good mental health, good sound mental health, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, or who you're with. Because if you have the true mental health, you are happy inside, regardless of what you're doing. Back to the opinion of others or others observing you. People are always going to form an opinion, but they have no idea how you're feeling on the inside. And I think how you feel on the inside actually doesn't count more for your well-being in general. In fact, if your mind is in a place where it's functioning in a good way, it's eliminating stress. And when you eliminate stress, your body has a tendency to heal. It's real interesting how people see you or view you and they form an opinion. Although there's a lot of people walking around with physical illnesses that can't be seen. So people also form an opinion about that. I have a friend who has a serious disease and she can walk and get around. Well, she parked in a handicapped parking space. And this lady looked at her with, I guess you would call it the stink eye, because my friend got out of her car and walked into the grocery store. But the truth is that lady doesn't know what is going on with that person. But with that being said, when people judge us or form an opinion, it really doesn't matter. Or if we think we know how they're observing us, how they see us, it's usually incorrect. How we think people observe us is usually not accurate, and how people observe us and judge us is usually not accurate. The truth is, when you're feeling good mentally and you're feeling happy and you're feeling grounded, you don't really care what other people think. It's when you're not feeling so good about yourself. That's when you have a tendency to care more about how you present yourself to others. And that in itself is kind of being imprisoned, because truly it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of us. But it's amazing, no matter what's going on in your life, if you are happy mentally, then everything else is falling into place. And it doesn't matter who judges you or what you look like, because as I said earlier, there's many, many people that you can't see anything outwardly with them, but they have more going on within themselves than maybe somebody who's apparently handicapped. Or I know for myself, I've shared with you many times that I'm having mobility issues. But thank God I'm starting to feel better and better. And each time I feel a little better each day, I have a tendency to fall back into my old ways, my old habits. Before I got ill, I would be on the go all the time. I just had trouble sitting still. And now that I'm starting to feel better, I notice I get this urge in me to go out to lunch, go to Starbucks, just do. And I realized I don't want to go back to that old person, because in life, when we go through things, we learn a lesson, enjoy life, and be in the moment, and be alone with yourself, and just enjoy whatever the day unfolds into. So when I get this feeling of the old me wanting to come out, I have to reel myself back in. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to get better, I want to get healthy again, but I also want to keep in my back pocket everything that I've learned along this journey. And actually, this was the purpose for this podcast in the first place, is for those of you that are going along a similar journey, to hopefully save you a few steps in your journey so you don't have to go through all that I did. But I got to tell you, when all is said and done, I feel much better. I feel much better in the mental sense, for sure, because it made me let go of so much that I thought was so important. And it made me prioritize what really is important. And with all that, there comes mental health. And the better mental health you can get into, the better your body is going to function, the happier you're going to be. People's opinions won't matter so much. Don't get me wrong, I love having friends. I love that people are out there. But at the same time, you can't live for the opinions of others. And when you have good, sound mental health, you're able to let that go. Have people in your life and love them for who they are. Difference of opinions, whatever. The big picture is, it doesn't matter what others think about you. And it doesn't matter what you think others are thinking about you. What matters is good mental health. And regardless of whatever you're going through in the physical. And again, I'm not talking about something serious that is distracting emotionally. I know there are some pretty horrendous things that people have to go through, and I feel bad about that. You do what you need to do. But regardless of what it is, I believe the thing to strive for is mental health. And I do believe that translates into good physical health. So when we talk about mental health versus physical health, I would say all that you're going through with your physical health will fall into place. How you feel about it, how you think about it, the new you. And that's what it is. It's the new you. You will come out better and fresher than you were before you went to this lesson. I know last episode I mentioned this country western song, and I gotta say it again because the words are so perfect. And it says, I'm in the middle of growing up and getting old. And that is so true. We're always growing and learning, and yet we're always getting older. But I do believe that's why we go through challenges in life. We can either mask them and try to ignore them and hope they go away, or we can learn from it and embrace it. Well, I'm going to sum it up and close with this. It's hard to say that you can have one without the other, but I believe you can have good mental health without having good physical health. Now, when you don't have good physical health, having the good mental health takes a little more effort, a little more work. But if you can strive to achieve it, and if you can achieve it, then you're in a state of well-being. You're in a state of going with the flow. You're in a state of letting life work out. The big picture is everything is functioning at top capacity. How you think, how you feel, your mind filters down to your body. And that is definitely a good start for healing the physical body as well. Until next time, I wish you health and happiness.